Welcome back. Well, when we think of June, we think of how hot it gets here in Tucson over the summer.
Absolutely, but desert harvesters also say that it is the best month to appreciate the native foods of the Sonoran Desert. Jill Lorenzini and Cameron Jones are here to explain why the hottest, driest time of summer is actually great for this. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Well, let's start with what is Desert Harvester? Who are you? What is the group about?
Well, Desert Harvesters is a volunteer-run grassroots organization that promotes food and water security here in Tucson, and we encourage people to grow and harvest and eat the plentiful desert foods that are here because they co-evolve with the environment and they love the heat and they're very nutritious foods that we can take advantage of.
Absolutely. So why would you say your work is so relevant here in our community?
Because, you know, we want to promote food security, and these plants are relevant because they grow here and they provide food that's high in nutrition, and they're very accessible. You probably are seeing all these foods that are presented here around in the landscape, and they also can thrive off mostly rainwater, and that's another part of our mission, is to encourage people to use rainwater harvesting strategies and concepts to grow these foods in their neighborhoods and communities.
And I did mention at the very beginning about this being the driest, hottest, month, and so a lot of people are thinking this is probably a month that we can't do anything with. But what are some of the foods that are actually, this is like the season for them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so mesquite, especially right now, in May, there was a lot of allergies in the air from mesquite trees, but now they're starting to form bean pods, as you can see there. Okay. And so those are getting ready right before the rains. Everything is getting ready for the rains that come in July. So also saguaro, you can see the saguaro, which has a beautiful red and black. Those will also be ripening just as at the hottest time of the year, right before the rains come in July. So that way the seeds are in the ground in order for them to be able to germinate and propagate. And so that's also us, that's our desert bounty. So this is the time when we're out there harvesting and being able to get native foods into our diets, into our lives, and just to be healthier and more sustainable here in Tucson.
Oh, yeah.
And Cameron, I know we're talking about, what desert foods are in season now, but what other foods do you highlight?
Mm-hmm. We also have ironwood pods, which are another bean tree, and cholla buds, which are the flowers of the cholla cactus that are about to open, that taste a little bit to me like artichoke.
There's barrel cactus fruit and seeds are edible. Also palo verde trees, which were that beautiful yellow bloom recently, and now they're forming seeds that can be eaten raw, fresh, or you can sprout them, toast them, roast them. And then the beautiful prickly pear fruit makes a juice that probably most people have seen, and they're also very healthful and have high nutritional qualities. And so we promote all those foods: cactus, bean trees, there's herbs and greens that are associated with the seasonal monsoons in both summer and winter.
And to promote even this more, you do events so that others can come and learn and be educated. So what do we have upcoming event-wise?
Yeah. On June 9th, so a week from now at La Cocina from 5 to 10 p.m., we're having a sort of history of desert harvesters. People can come sample food and drink. There'll be music and also an entertaining story about the history of desert harvesters. And then the following week after that, on June 18th, there'll be a guided harvest tour. So we'll actually take people out, we'll show them the basic tools that you need in order to harvest mesquite and other bean trees, and then how to also, on June 25th, get that milled into a really delicious flour called mesquite flour. So you can use that in baking and cooking as a substitute or in conjunction with regular wheat flour, and it has a really sweet flavor and nice texture.
Wow. Well, I think what's really neat about your events especially is that you're teaching our community. I mean, all of these are in our area, and a lot of us don't even know that they're edible. So I think it's really important that we're not just showing people, what we have here, but you're explaining you know, what they are, how to find them, and probably how to prepare them as well. So
Yes.
this is really, really neat. We're going to make sure our viewers have all of the information to come to your events, and I want to thank you so much for joining us this
Great.
morning.
Thank you for having us.
And for more information about Desert Harvesters, including their public events, you can log on to desertharvesters.org.